Good morning out there, out there with my froggy voice. From in here, out here. I'm going to try to keep Vivian here for just a little bit. So we don't have only her nose, huh? First slurp. Viv, can you say good morning to everybody? There's good morning. And then this, huh? Yeah, come here. Come up here. Yes, you might go. No, down here. Yeah, see? Say hi to everybody. You don't need treats anymore. You used to do this without treats. Remember that? Well, summer's almost over and I'm crying, and I don't know why. Know that song? That's a Cheryl Wheeler song. Yep. She's a hero of mine, along with Kate Wolf and Carrie Newcomer. They're all heroes of mine. Nancy Griffith, too. And Eva Cassidy. Well, boy. Welcome to the Sentimentalist. There was a show on the other day where they were discerning the difference between sentiment and sentimentality. And you know, almost all the quotes and things about sentimentality are really brutal. And I thought, no, those are about being sappy and cheesy and manipulative. But if you look at your grandmother's coffee mug and remember her sentimentally, I think that's very loving. Yeah. We went to see the comedian Trey Crowder. Check him out. He's fairly new. And he's from the South, and he talks like this. And he talks about being in different parts of the country and talking like that. He's very funny. Very funny. You check him out on YouTube. Very funny. Oh, that's about it, Viv. Now you turn your back on everybody. See? Look at that. How's that for manners, huh? Look at that. Down. You want to get down? Vivi, down. Pico, down. Good girl. There's my girl. Now she's up. You're putting on a show today, huh? Yeah. How about the leaves are turning? Oh my goodness, yeah. And of course, I have to remind you, October the 2nd, send in to Kevin Carey and they'll send you the how to RSVP and get the link, because you're going to really love being with Rosemary Tromer. Goodbye, Viv. Rosemary Tromer, Watolo Tromer, and James Cruz, and me. But you're really gonna, it'll just be such a pleasant time for you. It'll be for you. And then on October 22nd, right down here at our own wonderful library, Sarah Goy, Ingrid, have set up, Ingrid Mason have set up a time for us to be together personally, directly, not virtually. And I'll read some poems and try to give you some time that you'll enjoy, and we'll have a little conversation. That's always delightful, see what happens. I love that, just kind of improv stuff, you know. And Vivian will lap water for you, as you can hear. Yeah, she'll slurp. See, she slurps. I learned it from Viv, how to slurp. This is the new book by Natalie Dykstra. She got a full this long review in the New York Times without one nitpick about it. They celebrated this book as one of the great books of right now, maybe ever. Chasing Beauty, the story of Isabella Stewart Gardner by Natalie, my former colleague. And here's the thing that amazes me about people who write these books. Look at this. This is notes. See all this? These are notes. Here's the book. Here's the notes. How do they do that? I just go, done, see ya. Boy. And so that's that. We had a sandpiper. A sand too, actually. Sandpiper. Along the lake here. You know how they do on the shoreline? Wow. It was such a thrill. Jim Alice was here and he looked up, his eyes got as big as an alarm clock, and he looked at and he said, what is that? And I said, oh, well, that's sandpaper. Holy cow, said I had another one. Electricians are here. Dear Julie saved the day. They got here, we were still asleep. Doorbell rang. I thought the house was on fire. I didn't know what was going on. Julie very calmly gets up, goes to the door, lets them in, and off to work. They went outside, actually. My sister's in Sicily, and she's joined, well, we won't go, you know. That's what, you know, we're gonna do. I know a guy, take care of you, to show you around the town, you know what I'm saying? Show you around the town. Last night, you know, I talk about this workshop group that has met for a long time. Last night, we had 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, 8 poems to talk about. And it was overwhelming how powerful and how moving and how vulnerable these poems were. And I kept thinking, these are topics, I'm not meaning lewd, we're talking about grieving and loss and things that happen in their lives, and you wouldn't bring it up in a conversation. I don't know if they know anybody that just say this to in these ways. Overwhelming. And they're all, well, Marianne Sundquist cracked us up because she said, well, I reached 100 rejections. Oh, that's how it, well, don't get me started on editors, okay? If any of you editors are watching, don't get me started on you. But to think the trust that was in that group to present such vulnerable work to one another. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could just all do that? Just stop by and somebody needs to tell you something. They need to tell you. And you need to tell them. Wow, our neighbor John has collected art from all over the world, and I had never seen it. We've been here almost a year, and I hadn't been inside his house, and he took me in, and he showed me this collection he has this was a real Impressionist painting, a real fauve painting, a real painting from this era and this era. I'm no exaggeration, I just really thought I was in a very fine museum. It was remarkable. And then he's a very fine painter himself. And he said, oh, I just taught myself. I don't know what I'm doing. And he's real, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what I'm doing. We're going to miss him. He's going to move closer to his children. Ah, boy, how about that moon, huh? Let's hear it for the moon. Did you see it the other night? 3 moons at once. What? Harvest moon, lunar eclipse, and what's the other one called? Supermoon.
Supermoon.
Supermoon. It was the supermoon. And we could see that little top, like somebody took a little nibble out of an Oreo. Yeah. And it was big and it was bright, and wasn't that something? I mean, that's weird. And then yesterday I look out the window and there was a murmuration. You know how the wild geese, no, starlings, do that thing where it was woo. It would happen right out here outside the window. And I love that term. There's so many funny terms in it. It's a murmuration. They're murmuring, anyway. Julie moved her grandmother's peonies. Now that's the 5th time, right? At least 5 times that we've moved them. And we always have them at our house. And this is the time of the year to transplant. So off she went and got them from our old house. People, yes, let us have them. And Julie replaced them with a new peony. And then she put them where we can always see them. It was so smart, down by the dock here. And David Grunfeld stopped by. He's a former student, and when you say a former student who's 62 or so, and boy, has he been through a lot. He stayed in a church that rejects pretty a lot of, well, gay people, gay marriage. And he started a beautiful group within it, sort of a counter, not a counterattack, because they just counter it, called Room for All. David Grunfeld. And he's just really kind of eked out a living, an assistant here, an assistant there, and been all around. And what a wonderful man. Just, it was so pleasant to be with him. And he brought me a 6-pack of stout. Now, how can you beat that? Huh? It's pretty nice. Well, how's our time doing? Are we doing all right? We got about 4 minutes. I forgot to say welcome to the Sentimentalist. How's that? Hi, Mark. I better take a slurp for that, huh? Yeah, good drink. Here to Vivi, wherever she went. And a nice autumn day. Although summer's almost over and I'm crying, and I don't know why. After we did the whole landscapes last night with those overwhelming poems, I sent everybody Carrie Newcomer's song. You should look it up, called You Can Do This Hard Thing. You Can Do This Hard Thing. How about if I read a poem from a new book? Is that okay? This is okay. It's called After Leaving Bed at 2 a.m., I wondered if I was still in the same house. The leaves left on the trees will tear like paper lanterns. The silverware in the oak drawers has gathered old notes along their handles. I sit down into the overstuffed chair, the one with the frayed brown arms and the coffee stains, and pretend there's a window beside me that I can see a weary cat sitting on a cell-twisted branch of an elm. I wonder if I should cut it down, make a space where anything could appear, clover, sandbox, a small town where the mail carrier changes hats and drives to a fire, later changes hats again and walks along the cracked and peeling downtown, swinging the billy club he used once to help Mrs. Keese tap in a for sale sign in front of her 4-bedroom house. Well, you know, it's always wonderful to be with you. You take care. Try to be kind, or be kind. Yeah, try to be cheerful. That's hard. And thanks for being with me.